And finally, the rains have stopped. Over the last series of days, it has poured down the rain here in the Kure Beach and Wilmington area. My mother's been with me. I've had a house guest this weekend. My mom is in town. Spent a little time with the hitchhiking Yeti, her son. Thought we was gonna have a good time this weekend, which we made the best of it, but you know how it is when it's rainy. You can't do what you wanna do, so you gotta kinda come up with other ideas to keep yourself entertained. And that's exactly what we did. This morning, no real plan. We're just gonna do a little bit of coffee walk and talk. Make my way down to Kure Beach for a change. Right here is the Veterans Island sign. All gave some gave all. Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to the channel. Hitchhiking Yeti here. I have on probably one of the most comfortable t-shirts that I own. Right here, this classic Mickey. And no, I did not buy it at Disney World. I actually bought it at Walmart several months ago for like $8. I mean, this little t-shirt's been awesome. Really have enjoyed it. Like I said, no real plan today. We're just gonna make our way down to Kure Beach, walk out the pier this morning, just check out some sights. Who knows what we might see. If I get real lucky, maybe see a dolphin. I don't expect to, because anytime I have the camera record button pressed, don't get to see a whole lot of wildlife. They just run, they just leave. But that's kind of our plan today. So thank you for hanging out with me. We're gonna make our way down to Kure Beach now. Let's do this. Man, that's good. All right, I have made my way down here to the town of Kure Beach. As you can see, Beach Church off into the distance there. They're getting all tuned up and ready to go this morning. And something you don't see every day, right here is the Kure Beach Police. They're down here in Kure Beach. That's kind of interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that quite before, but I know one thing that I'm looking forward to this morning is taking a little coffee walk and talk out the Kure Beach Pier. Not done that in a while. Man, you should have been here last week. I love that sign. It's just so retro and awesome. All right, what a beautiful morning we're having here as I look to the north down toward Kure Beach. Kind of pan around here in Kure, looking back at the old Kure Beach Pier House right here. Kind of hard to believe that this is the oldest fishing pier in the United States, on the East Coast, that is. Now there's other piers on the East Coast that is very old, like the Boston Fish Pier. It was actually established in 1910. And the Crest Fishing Pier in New Jersey opened in 1919. These are primarily like commercial or municipal facilities rather than actually a public recreational fishing pier. So that's why Kure Beach gets to tout that it is the oldest fishing pier on the East Coast of the United States. That's how all that worked. All right, let's grab our coffee and walk out here. And speaking of fishing, let's see how many people are partaking in some fishing this morning on this absolutely beautiful Kure Beach morning here on Pleasure Island. This is fantastic. This is why I love the beach. Moments like this, coffee in hand, waves are rolling in. It's a really nice surf this morning. Maybe that front that's kind of left us behind, took all the storms with them. It's got a little swell out there in the water. You got us a surfer out there. And there, well, you got two surfers out there this morning, taking in some early morning surf. So yesterday evening we had a small break in the weather, and I did end up bringing my mom up here to Kure Beach, and me and her walked out the pier and back. It's kind of windy, and it was misty. It wasn't like the rain wasn't all gone yet. It was still just a few drops here and there, kind of being blown around in the wind. And as beautiful as it is this morning, I think when I go back and pick her up and take her Diet Coke, that I might ask her to see if she wants to come back down here and just take a walk out the pier, because this is very pretty out here this morning. A lot of people out here. It's like there are definitely some people out here today. Yesterday was like maybe 10 people out here fishing, and today it looks like we have quite a few more takers out here on the pier. But yeah, I think my mom would really enjoy coming out here this morning with this weather. Still a little breezy, but there's no rain. That's the important thing. So that might be in the cards. Look at these pigeons out here hanging out. I seen one of them yesterday, had all kinds of stuff in their mouth, making a nest. And I would imagine maybe they was just making the nest like right beneath the pier. Because where else would you make it? Had to be underneath this pier. I bet there's nests for pigeons all beneath the Kure Beach fishing pier. Because they like hanging out here. At least they do when the pelicans are not out here. I ain't seen a pelican out here in a while. How you doing, little friend? What you up to? What do you think about all this wind? Hey, there you go. Look, 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 he's going to, yeah, they definitely got to have a nest underneath the pier. All right, I made my way out here to the end of the pier. This is the home of the Misfits. I'm gonna walk out here. I seen a guy on a sup paddleboard while I was walking out through here. And he is way out there in the ocean. You can just see him. He's not paddling no more. And right now he's just kind of sitting down, just chilling out. I seen him from a distance. He was coming from the south back down this way, kind of paddling his way out through here. I don't know. I think sup paddleboards are really cool. They're like stand-up paddleboards where you have like an oar in your hand. I think it's a really cool concept. It looks like a lot of fun, but I don't really think I'm a big fan of being quite that far out paddling along. I mean, there's some big things out there that could just come along and just bump into you and knock you into the water. And then, you know, not to be negative, but God, you know what I'm getting at, right? You've seen the movie Jaws. I'm like, no, thank you. I think if I did the sup paddleboard, I would rather stay over here, like just maybe beyond the breakers. Not that something couldn't happen there too, but I don't know. I just feel like less likely big things couldn't come in there, you know, really big things couldn't come in that area just because, you know, it's too shallow. That's the way I'm looking at it. Like as long as it's about waist deep, at least maybe you can even see it coming. But to go way out there, that far out, I don't know, man. I don't think so. It didn't work out too well for Quinn, and he was in a boat. And we got us a fish. That little boy right there caught him a fish. He seems pretty excited, pretty awesome. That's always such a good thing. I love to see young kids come out here and get to catch some fish. Kind of get their juices flowing, and it kind of stick with them throughout their life, man. I know that's the way it was for me, coming to the beach and catching fish. Ooh, the sup guy, he's up again. Look at him. He's out there paddling now. He's come in a little bit now, which I don't blame him. But one thing interesting about that stand-up paddleboard stuff, man, they really make some good time. Those things glide through the water. But you can just tell how big the waves are today because you can just visually see him kind of going up and down with these swells as they roll in to the beach. That is pretty cool. I think I would like to try that sometime. And I need to do it soon because you know what? I am not getting any younger. That is for sure. And I want to talk to you now a little bit about my Q&A video idea. Question and answers. Might need your help on that one, of course. All right, we have another guy fixing to go out, catch some waves this morning. He's down there getting all limbered up. He is serious. He is going to go tackle some waves today. And speaking of tackling, I kind of briefly mentioned in a previous video about this Q&A video that I've been wanting to do. And the reason I want to do it is because I do get quite a few questions from time to time. Some of the questions are the same, and I always like take care of them during like emails or on Instagram. You know, they got a messenger system on there where you can like text people more or less without using your real phone. And I thought it would be a cool idea to just have you guys, the viewers, send questions. Follow me on Instagram. You can go on there and send me questions through Instagram. You can also email me at my Hitchhiking Yeti account at Gmail. So you could do that. But I thought that would be a kind of a fun video that I could do at some point over the summer. It's kind of funny. I really appreciate you guys who watches all the way to the end, because I've already received a few questions from y'all. So that shows me that there's some of you who actually watches all the way to the end of the vlog. That's always because I put it right at the end. And there have been quite a few people that actually already sent some questions, or they just said hello. I don't got no question, but I just want to let you know that I watched all the way to the end. So that was pretty awesome. That was really, really cool. But definitely, if you're not following me on Instagram, go give me a follow if you have the app. You do not have to download the app just for this. You can always email me. hitchhikingyeti@gmail is another way to contact me. But if you do it on Instagram and you follow me, you're probably going to get, if you have a question about something, you're probably going to get a reply a little bit quicker than email. That's just me, yo. I'm not a big email guy. But yeah. All right, so let's head on out here through the Pier store. And we're going to start wrapping up this vlog. It's going to be kind of short today because, you know, my mother is in town. And I got to take care of her and got to get her back home safely today. All right, I've made my way outside of the Pier house now, back on street side here at Kure Beach Pier. As you can see, right there is the Ocean View restaurant. There is people waiting outside to get a table. Very popular spot to go grab some breakfast here in town. So now I think we're going to make our way back down to Carolina Beach momentarily. Go down there and get my mom's drink that she needs. And then we're going to wrap this vlog up today. And as you can see, people are congregating in for beach church this morning. I didn't even know this was down here. I have made my way down here to the north end of Carolina Beach, or Pleasure Island North End. This here is the location of the old Carolina Beach fishing pier from way back. Took on quite a bit of damage from several hurricanes, Matthew and Hurricane Florence, and never really reopened again. But they do have like a little tiki bar down here and a little area. They have like a restaurant here, and they got the tiki bar. They have little events down here in this area, especially on this little sandy nook area right here during Halloween and Christmas, stuff like that. They do still have a sign up there. It says "Life is Better, Carolina Beach Pier." But they have been no fishing going on this pier in quite some time. It's been a while. As you can see, a big piece of the pier is missing. The whole end, probably half of it, is gone. It used to extend out pretty good way. Tell you one thing, you don't have a whole lot of beach down here along the north end. If you live in some of these houses, that almost looks as bad as North Topsail Island. I went down there a few years ago and I actually did a video. It was called the Vanishing Beach, because the ocean was just beaten up right on the sand dunes, making life pretty difficult for those people who had oceanfront properties down there. But right there's a little bit better view of the old Carolina Beach fishing pier. You can see a lot of it's been broken off out there at the end many years ago, probably 6-7 years ago, when Hurricane Florence came through and did so much damage. Category 2 storm. That was a weird storm because it just kind of, almost like Hurricane Floyd back in '99 or something, it just kind of hung out once it made landfall. A lot of flooding, a lot of wind damage. Category 2 storm is nothing to play with. And there is quite a good group of surfers right over there on the other side of the pier. Let's walk over there and check that out. This has been kind of cool. I don't think I've been down here in probably a year and a half. All right. Made it over here to the north side of the pier. As you can see, the surfers out there in the water, waiting on their set. You see a longboarder down there. He's already got him one. And notice these wooden pylons right here that kind of extends out into the water. Definitely an underwater hazard to be wary of if you come down here to catch some waves. But that there is actually the site of an old jetty years ago. It used to have rocks way back, probably 50 or so years ago. used to have rocks piled up over those, and that was just a jetty. And I think the reason it was there, it was because of erosion problems and stuff down here on the north end that you have. I think it was the jetty normally kind of robs sand from one end, which over here there's no, you know, this is the north end beach where you can actually drive your vehicle out off down here in the end, do some camping and things like that, or at least you used to could. I've not been out there in years too, but four-wheel drive only, by the way. But used to kind of steal sand from one side and try to build the beach up on the other. That was kind of the point of a jetty. I think that's how that used to work. That's what I was told anyway. You just never know unless you probably talk to a real Army Corps engineer or something or other. But that was the way it was always told to me. Used to come down here from time to time with my dad. We'd go out here and catch some waves. It's always a good break down here, and I guess that's why you have so many surfers out here today. It still is pretty good. Little spot to go catch some waves. Always like surfing, not next to a pier, but really close. All right, my friends, I think that is going to pretty much do it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. I know it was a very random video, not really a theme to the day, other than we did make it to 2 different piers here on Pleasure Island. But I just wanted to get out and get some steps in this morning and do some stuff. It's so beautiful. Been kind of cooped up the last couple of days, about to drive me crazy. I'm definitely an outdoorsman. All right, all that being said, I'm done. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I am the Hitchhiking Yeti, and I will see you in my next adventure. Everyone, please stay safe.